This is the Fearless Launching Show. I'm your host, Anne Samoilov. Today, we're going to be asking you a bunch of questions. Really, it starts with what do you want to create in the next 12 months? And we've got some questions to ask yourself. But the main gist here is, what is your business right now? Truly, what is your business right now? And what do you want to bring to your business in the next 12 months, in the next year? This is something that might be hard to face, but I think that it's really important for us to do this and have no shame around it, because people have different revenue streams and those can shift and change and morph from year to year sometimes. So I want you to embrace this. Let's take a look at our businesses and see where we want to go next year. The Fearless Launching Show was created to answer the question, how can I launch my big idea to the world in the most simple, straightforward way possible and reach more of the right people? I'm your host, Anne Samoilov, and I've been helping 6- and 7-figure business owners launch for over a decade. And while I love geeking out about improving launches, new launch strategies, what's working, what's not working, I'm also obsessed with exploring the heart, the mind, the challenges of running your own business. And that's what we're going to do each and every week. I want to show you how to launch that course or coaching program or other creative work and navigate the journey of being an online entrepreneur. So if you're ready for some new perspectives, some new stories around launching, well, I can't wait to share those with you. Let's get into today's episode. Okay, so let's talk about what you're launching or what you want to bring out to the world or what you want to share, what you want to sell, what you want to create in 2022. So as I mentioned, people are often, people are starting to set their goals right now. Some people have already done it. Some people have their, all their Post-it note planners and calendars open. They've got their, all their plans and their partnership and their vision and when they're launching and when they're doing promotions all out. But this is when many of us are just getting started with that. And I have a loose idea of things, but I have yet to put it down on paper or put it in some sort of tangible format. And there's a lot going on that you're going to start seeing related to that, okay? But, maybe for you, it's I'm going to build my funnel. I'm going to have 10 clients. I'm going to start selling my physical products, or I'm going to create a tiny course, or I'm going to relaunch that program and do that here and there. And before you do that, here's what I want you to ask yourself. What's your existing business right now? And that's not a trick question, by the way. That is not a trick question. What I want to ask you is, what's your business right now? Because the truth is, we often don't think about that. We often just assume that the thing we want to be selling is our business. However, as we can all kind of attest to, different things and different streams and different products and offers, and there are so many different things that can kind of bring in revenue, bring in income to you, your family, your business. If you're working on your own, you might just consider that overall pile of stuff your revenue. Let's go with that now. I'm not going to talk about like business income, personal income, all that. We're just going to talk about business revenue. So to find out what your existing business is right now, I want you to think about what things bring in the revenue to your business. And be honest, this is for yourself. This isn't for me. Like, ask yourself, okay, is it client work? Did I have clients this year? How many clients? Do I provide a service for people? Or, you know this answer, like what services did I offer? How many people bought those services? Just kind of like do some estimates. Or if you actually know, you can go check and actually get the specific numbers, right? Is it affiliate products you promote? Is it, and this is where the personal income comes in, is it child support? Is it alimony? Is it both? Not for me, it's not. But I'm not bitter, I swear. Are you selling mostly courses? Are those live launches? Is it an evergreen funnel? Is it random sales? Do partners help you bring things in? Now we're getting into the sources of the sales, but you can still ask these questions to kind of give you, places to look for the numbers that you need. Now you may have, and I'm assuming you do because most of us have different places where the money comes in. We might not talk about it, but we do, okay? And that's great. Count it all. Follow the money. Just kind of list out where all of the money has come to you, your business, and yourself in this past year. And I'm specifically speaking, I guess, to someone who may have a small team, but maybe you're like me. Like I just look at that number, and then I might have an owner's draw that I call, but I always look at that overarching number, and I do look at all my expenses that I have in terms of that overall number as well right now. Okay, we're going to keep going. So we've got that. You list all those out. If you want to come back to this later, and right now you can just jot some of those things down. But here's the thing that I really want to kind of get at, the core and the reason why we're doing this. If you really want to sell your courses, but you're making your money another way, well, that other way is kind of what your business model, your business is right now. You don't have that course business up and running yet if you're really just doing coaching. Even if you have those courses running, if you're mostly just coaching, that's your business. Or maybe you're consulting or whatever. So this is why it's important, because I think looking and understanding, okay, what is my business right now? Where is the revenue coming from? But where do I want it to be? So right now, my business is mostly coaching and consulting, or whatever the case is for you. And then what do I want it to be? Now, the funny thing is, it's like you can look at your offerings as different part of your business. And if you're like me, then due to a lot of different life reasons over the past few years, I have years in the past where I really focused solely on consulting, coaching, client work. And some years where my main focus was selling one of my programs, Fearless Launching, which I've offered since 2012. But things change, and before I was doing any sort of evergreen or automated funnel, I would have 2 launches per year like with the main launches. And the reason why those stopped being so possible is because of said life issues. It just didn't feel like I could show up in the best way possible. So those became, that's when Fearless Launching kind of took a back seat for a little bit. And then I was doing more coaching and consulting, right? And over that time, during this whole time, this is when I like to call it my weird business model, where I can kind of be flexible. And sometimes I'm coaching and consulting, and there might be other times when I'm not, when I'm teaching, mostly in a group setting or in the course. And once you know where your revenue is coming from, then you get to design the year to create the business you want. But you start with that reality, okay? So if you're a coach or a consultant, maybe what you want to think about is, how do I expand into more of an education business that also includes courses, right? If you're a service provider, maybe you're thinking of adding coaching to your offers instead of just implementation. If you do one-on-one work, maybe you're trying to completely remove that and create an evergreen business where you sell things automatically. Now, that doesn't mean they have to have like an evergreen webinar and a funnel, but let's just say you have things that are always for sale. You could be a service provider, again, another service provider example, where maybe you're like, I want to add a physical product to the mix. I actually know a woman who has a kind of like really interesting hybrid business where she has courses, and she also has like a service provider agency type thing where there's people building websites, and she has a physical product, and now she has an Airbnb. So all of those count as part of her business, right? But the main thing I want to kind of, encourage you to do is always be really clear, what is my main source of revenue? And so that you know where you are and that you can actually course correct if really that's not what you want your business to be. And I just found this out over the years. Your business is what you offer publicly, what people seeing you doing. So for someone like me who doesn't have a lot of ads running, none right now, and does have an evergreen program, no one would ever even know that I sold a course. Most people come to me. I get inquiries about coaching, consulting, working on launches, working as in different capacities, even not even just launching. So that's why I wanted to do this today, because I want you to think about what you're offering out to people before you create this map for 2022. People assume what your business is by what they can see you offering. And there are lots of people who are really good at making sure every single day they're mentioning their programs, their courses, whatever they offer, or their products and different things like that. So think about that. What are you offering publicly? Okay. So if you want to be a course creator, again, you have to launch courses. Just creating them and having them on your site in a long list won't turn your business into a course business. You have to be visible. You have to have a system to repeatedly sell these things. You have to have launches in some form, so people know who you are and what you do, and they know to come to you. If you want to be a coach, you need to make sure people know you coach people and you have a system for enrolling people and how to work with you, and maybe times during the year when you're looking for new clients. But I really want to impress upon you this, and I'm kind of like, there's no shame in having your revenue come from streams that you wish weren't your business, right? We all have things where we're like, I'm going to share some personal stuff in a little bit here, but like sometimes, like there was a period of time when I was building an evergreen funnel that I was like feeling so like shamed that I was doing consulting and coaching. And I'm like, what is that about? No one lives in my world. Like I said on Friday's live stream, don't let anybody else in your wallet. They don't pay your bills. They don't go to the grocery store for you or have to, pay for your kids' trips or clothes or whatever. So don't let people shame you that, where you want to be, maybe and don't shame yourself where you aren't yet. Okay. But use that to get clear on where you want it to come from. And then use that yearly you can do it more often than a year, but use that yearly mapping time to create a plan, course correct to plan to do that, so that okay, I'm doing launches. Here's what I'm going to be launching I want to launch my courses. I'm going to be launching it here, 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 and here, or whatever. I'm going to do coaching. Here are my enrollment periods. Here's when I'm going to do that. So let your map help you design your business, okay? I think someone's here. Someone did a little thumbs up. Hello. I'm not sure who's here, but hello. So this is why I map out my entire year of launches and create this marketing map. I don't plan launches piecemeal anymore. They really are always part of the bigger picture. And this is actually why, just a side note, my program the Launch Incubator exists because people were coming into Fearless Launching kind of laser focused on one launch. It's really hard to just plan one launch in a silo without knowing what else is going on the sides, what other offers that you might have to tack onto this. What's going to happen after your launch? There's so many different elements of this. You can't look at your launch like with your head in the sand, basically. So I'm always about mapping everything out. And your year marketing map doesn't have to lock you into place. It really is a chance to recalibrate, to redesign, to course correct, to plan for that business direction. Where are you going? What business do you want to be in, or are you in it now, maybe? Now I'm going to give you a little example. I'm going to share some some insights that I'm not sure how much I'll go into, but I did write it all out for myself here so I could share it with you. But I'm going to give you a great example. And this is something, this whole process of kind of like breaking all of your offers and revenue apart in order to create this big map is something that I put into the completely revamped Launch Incubator program, which I'll tell you about in a little bit, but not really too many details, except for there's a live class that I'm doing, a training that is private. We're doing it on Friday. And if you want to know more about that, you can either, I'll give you a link at the end, or you can DM me and just ask me more questions before you even go into that, because it is application only even for the free class. But so let me tell you, okay, so I think we can all agree 2020 and even 2021 have been kind of like what, okay, on so many levels. And my daughter and I have been going through lots of changes. I was already in the midst of lots of changes because my divorce was final as of the beginning of 2020, right before COVID. I was a single mom doing it all alone. No one around, no weekends at dad's, no this, no that. And I'm not gonna, say anything else beyond that. But anyways, my offerings tended to be coaching heavy that year or consulting heavy. People would reach out, they need my help on something, they need my advice on something, or they need long-term coaching for their launch. I knew that I wanted to keep building my evergreen kind of automated system for fearless launching. But I also knew that coaching really allowed me to not have to be showing up all the time. Like for some reason, it feels a lot easier just to get on, I guess it would be Zoom with everybody, and instead of teaching a class for some reason. The strategy work, consulting work, easy. Just show up and do what you got to do and go, right? But I also did want to bring that coaching into a program. So that's when I tried out the incubator for the first time. It was really like a smaller version. But during that time, I had to get really okay with my revenue just coming in from coaching, mentoring, and consulting clients throughout the year. And then add to that, there were some other income, but they would be considered personal income. I was hit by a car physically in the fall of 2019, so I had a small settlement that came in 2020. Child support finally started later in the year. There were affiliate promotions, affiliate income, but still my business was primarily, I think I figured out that it was like 66% coaching, consulting, and any kind of one-off work like that. And that's even though I was selling Fearless Launching on the side, not on the side, but on the side of the main business, I guess. And the incubator stayed in the mix, but was also really in that development mode. You see? So things are not always what you see. Things are not always what you see. You're going to have potentially lots of different things going on because we all have to survive, right? We all have to make our rent. And when we're, if I were going back to the days when I did just focus on Fearless Launching, it was because I could develop that and work on that because there was another full income in the home. Now there wasn't. It was just me, hustle time, go time. So anyways, same in 2021, we moved across country to Florida, needed to scale back some of that consulting work, but I still remained in the coaching kind of world because then that allowed me to not have to implement, to do. Consulting work tends to mean you're doing some stuff. It was a little service provider-y at that time. So hopefully this isn't TMI, but I think it is interesting when you really dig into what people are actually doing to bring revenue to their business. You might be surprised, right? So one-on-one clients, incubator, which is like group coaching, it still wasn't in the form that it is now, but it was there, right? And of course, Fearless Launching was still happening. So Fearless Launching, incubator, coaching, and consulting, and still So 2020, clients, consulting and coaching. 2021, it was mostly coaching, right? And now, as we move into 2022, I'm thinking about how I really want to be more intentional this year and dive back into this business being an education business first and a coaching business second, very close second. But here's what I know already. I have 4 different coaching contracts for the year, Q1 and Q4. I have 2 now partnership. As I wrote this morning, then I was like, oh, right, I'm doing that too. I have 2 partnership promotions happening in Q1 as well. So since I know that, and also I'm still a single mom, I'm still doing it all myself. I'm still getting up at 5:45 every morning, getting Mila to school and like picking her up. And today's the early release day. I got to go in like 15 minutes. And planning to move. Here's the other thing. I'm also planning to move our high school, like home to a new place where we're going to remain for her high school years. Because Florida just isn't that place for me personally. But we're going to be doing that during the summer. So these are all things that's got to have to go into my plan, right? So think to yourself as well, like, wow, yeah, that's true. You know, we often kind of like plan a launch, then something happens and we're kind of thrown off for a little bit. And then we're like, okay, I guess I should launch. Instead of that, sit back, look at your year and ask yourself, what do I have going on, you know? And so this is why I'm focusing on the Launch Incubator. The Fearless Launching group, the members already know this, that I am not doing live coaching in the group monthly anymore. I'm still available for questions and answers and things like that, but that is actually even ramping down lower than it has been because I am now going into this year of really guiding, coaching, and mentoring people through their launches, the whole process, right? Where I get to hire coaches to help me run the programs, staff to manage everything. And I'm excited because now I'm mapping out the year knowing that that's what I am going to do. And I want to help you map out your year and really think through all of these things because sometimes it just takes another person to bounce that information off of before you're like, oh yeah, I can't do it then because that's happening. This is this person, everybody's birthday is that month. I can't do anything in May, you know, like whatever the case is for you. Right? And if you think you want to know more about what's on this private group training, then make sure to go to ansamoillive.com/incubator. And then you can apply there and I'll get back to you and I'll give you all those details. You'll be able to watch that replay after that. So it's like, if you can come, great. And the one thing I wanted to say and why this whole mapping exercise is so important is because I think you can, what is kind of fun, and maybe it's fun, nerdy fun for me, is that you can map out some additional scenarios based on different businesses that you are a different focus in your business. And I'm going to be doing that on the training so that I can share some different businesses and people I work with and their scenarios. So if you want to continue this conversation, I would love it if you'd apply. And if you have any questions, I'm not sure if anybody's still on here. Okay, cool. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. But I want to invite you, even if you're like, I know she's talking about this launch incubator, and I don't know if I really want to do anything like that, but there's something really amazing that can happen when you fill out this kind of form. Okay, first of all, there's only 2 actual questions that will ask you to give me and share with me stuff about yourself beyond just your contact information. So it's like 2 questions to let me know a little bit more about you. So if you are interested in doing that, then heck, get over there, go to ansamoillive.com/incubator. If you're watching this replay, make sure to leave a comment below and let me know, or DM me if you have any questions about what else I'm going to cover. I definitely don't want to waste your time. I want to make sure that that training is valuable, a good use of your Friday afternoon. Well, for me, it's Friday late afternoon, but it's a good use of your Friday afternoon, and that it's right for you. Okay? So have a great day. Remember, ask yourself this one core question, and you can go through this training again, but like, what is your business right now? And what do you want it to be? Is this it? Is this what you want it to be moving forward into 2022? Thanks so much for listening to this replay episode of the podcast. And if you want to watch the Facebook Live, which some people like to watch and listen and then read and do all the different formats, I will leave a link for you below over to our Facebook page, because that's where we did the Facebook Live. And then we have an extra special invitation for you. So if you apply for the Launch Incubator and you watch the private training, and then you decide to join us inside the incubator, we are doing a special workshop, live workshop at the end of December to really help you go through your 2022 and map it all out. Not just come up with scenarios, but to actually map out what you're going to be focused on for the year. Give your business that direction it craves and that you probably crave as well. That's it. That is it. All you have to do is go to annsamoilov.com/incubator and apply there. Or you can just reach out to me and ask me any questions that you might have about attending. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.